Hello, thank you for tuning in to Beacon Marketing's Weekly 5 things you need to know about marketing this week. My name is Roger Gallegos. I am the founder and CEO of Beacon Marketing. This week, I'm going to conclude my series on focusing on the needs of your customer by talking about how you can retarget them with your marketing efforts. Or rather, in this video, we're going to be talking about 5 stats about retargeting that really should get you to rethink your retargeting strategy. Now, for those of you who may be unaware of what I mean by retargeting or what that term means, it's when you think of your funnel and people start at the top in the awareness and they're moving on down to the engagement, entertainment, and education part, and then they go down to the close. That's the ideal path that you want someone to take, where they close and then you get the money and then you go on your way. What retargeting does is there's 2 things. Is if someone comes down and let's say they fall out of the funnel for whatever reason, they went through their the drip campaign that you set up and they didn't click on anything, or maybe someone went all the way through, made a purchase, but there's other services or products that you could provide them. So retargeting helps you reach out to the people who have already been in your funnel and didn't make a purchase, and people who already went through, made a purchase, but may be eligible for other things, or maybe to buy the same thing again, depending on your business model and what you are selling. So you really want to rethink your retargeting strategy, because it is a huge opportunity that many businesses do not capitalize on, and it's a huge part of what makes so many companies successful, because they're going out there and retargeting customers that already know about them and have, so it takes less effort. And we're going to actually talk about this with these. I found 5 very interesting. There's a bunch of numbers out there, but I found the 5 that were the most intriguing, that should really get you thinking about retargeting and why you should really revamp or even just start up your retargeting campaign. So let's jump right into it. The first number is 2%. Only 2% of visitors to a website convert on their first visit. Now think about that. If all the people that go to your website, let's say you get 100 unique visitors in a month's time, just to make it a nice round number, only 2 of them, you only have 2 out of 100 chance that you're going to get people to make a purchase on that first visit. That means there's 98 others that are going to go, look around, and leave. You want another bite at the apple for those other 98, because who knows why they didn't buy. Maybe they didn't have the time. Maybe they had to check with their spouse. Maybe they had to, they didn't have the funds at that time. There's 1,000 different reasons why they didn't make a purchase then, and then life happens. They might have forgot, and then you just want a gentle reminder. So you have to find a way to capture that information that they were there, and then how can you retarget them? So think about that. So think about that number, 2% of people that visit a website make a purchase on that first visit. That is a number that should really get you thinking about your retargeting strategy. Number 2 is 10%, and that's a 10% click-through rate increase from that initial visit to retargeting. Now, let me explain what that means. Click-through rate is when someone clicks through, like on an email or even like a landing page or whatever it is. So the first time they see it, across the board, the average click-through rate is 0.07. When they are retargeted, that percentage goes up 0.7. So you're seeing a 10 times increase from 0.07 to 0.7. Now that is huge when you start to think about it. When you think 10 times anything in marketing, that's a huge number. And again, it goes back to that first point of you made the effort to go out there and attract them and make them aware of your product. All you're doing with the retargeting is getting them more familiar and feeling more comfortable with making that decision to learn more. And that is really one of the big goals of marketing, is trying to get them to learn more to the point where they are ultimately going to make that purchase. And this is part of that. So 10 times, that's the second number, 10 times the click-through rate increases from that initial visit to retargeting. I know it's kind of a weird concept to get around, and it took me a while to study up on that, but that's some numbers there. The third number is 150. 150%. That is the potential increase that retargeting gets in terms of your conversion rate. Now that is huge. That further solidifies those first two numbers of 2% and 10 times. When you're looking at when someone is being retargeted, the conversion rate increases 150%. So not only are they clicking through to the next step, they're actually converting at a much higher rate because they've already done that initial homework. They're already familiar. They're further down that funnel. They're closer to that bottom part where they can make it, where you're ready to make a sale. So when the whole thing of retargeting is you're getting those people, you're not starting at the beginning anymore at that top. You're getting them closer to that bottom, which is an easier conversion. You see that in these numbers, in the higher click-through rate, which people see it, they click through something, and then the 150% is when they get there, they actually make a purchase. So those two numbers together should really give you an idea of the importance of retargeting your customers. So number 4, that's the third number. So number 4 is 70. 70% of people convert on their second time visiting a website. That's a play off that first number. So only 2% convert on their first visit, but that number goes up 68 points on their second visit. And that really makes sense because if they're going there for a second time, chances are they have thought about it, they have the money, they've talked to their spouse, they've gotten the okay, they're ready to make that purchase. But sometimes you need that nudge. They need that little nudge to make that purchase. So that is where the retargeting comes in. It's a little reminder. It's, hey, you left these things in the shopping cart, or hey, we saw that you were visiting this page. Are you still interested? Hey, do you have any questions? Can we help you? Can we assist you in any way? All these things are retargeting efforts where you are just lightly tapping the person, digitally tapping them on the shoulder and saying, hey, you ready to make a purchase now? And sometimes those little gentle reminders are enough to get them to go back to your website, because when they do, that conversion rate goes up to 68% on that second time to your website. That is amazing. So that's it. Number 5. 497%. Now, let me explain what that means. That's a huge number. Repeat customers spend nearly 500% more compared to first-time buyers. Now, this is for people who make it all the way through that funnel that you want to retarget. Now, remember, think about that number there. They are more likely to spend more on their second time through your funnel or through visiting your store or your website or whatever it is, because they're already more comfortable with you. And this really makes sense. That first visit might have just been, hey, let me just get this small product. Let me try this small service. They really like it. You did an awesome job. You created an awesome experience like we discussed in last week's video. You did great. They come back and they say, okay, I'm willing to get 3 more things or add an additional service. So that is where you get that increase. So this is really huge, because now that you already did a great job that first time, it takes less effort to get that person to come back into your funnel and to make a sale, and then you're getting nearly 5 times the money from them in terms of what they spend. That's just huge. So you spend less money getting them, and you make more money in the conversion. So all these numbers I just shared are very important to getting that, increasing your business and making your marketing efforts more effective. So let's share those numbers one more time. Let's recap them really quick. 2%. Only 2% of visitors convert on their first time to a website. 10 times. The second number is 10 times. The click-through rate increases 10 times from 0.07 to 0.7 when retargeting. So the second time you retarget someone, they are more likely to click through onto the next step, to go to the next step to make a purchase or to schedule an appointment. Number 3 is 150. So after they click through, they are the conversion rate increases to 150% when they get there. So not only does your click-through rate goes up, but the conversion rate also increases. Number 4, 70% of people convert on their second time visiting a website. So that first time you were just kind of creating that relationship, maybe getting them comfortable with you. That second time, they know, they're ready, they've answered all the questions, they're ready to make a purchase. Number 5, 497. This is the big one. Your customers are likely to spend nearly 5 times as much as they did the first time through that funnel. That's just huge. So all of those reasons are good reasons as to why you want to look at how you can retarget and re-engage the customers who have gone through your funnel and for one reason or another they fell out. So that's that. Let me know what you think, of this. How have you put any efforts into your retargeting? What sort of things are you doing? Are you sending out emails for abandoned shopping carts? Are you giving people phone calls after successful services? Are you putting customers who have already made a purchase, are they on your regular email list? Like something like that. Those things are all examples of retargeting. There's a ton out there. We don't have the time to go through all of them on this video, but maybe soon I'll create a video with that so you guys could better see that. But just let me know what you're thinking. As always, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. In the description below, I will include an extra link. I'll include a link to a website and a page that I use for these numbers. There's a ton of numbers on there that help support this. I just picked the 5 that stood out for me, but there's a ton on there. So I'll include that link there. I'll also include a link to my blog, to Beacon's blog, about the best practices for retargeting. So if you're looking to retargeting, this helps you get in the correct mindset. So the link will be in the description below. Also in the link to also in the description below will be a link to schedule a free 30-minute discovery session where we sit down via Zoom, phone call, to discuss where you are with your marketing efforts and how I can help or how you can move forward. It's a $97 value, but I do these for free for the first 10 that schedule it, so you can schedule yours there. Lastly, the last thing is subscribe to my weekly newsletter. The link will be that in the description below. You can sign up. I send a weekly newsletter every Monday afternoon at 1 p.m. Mountain Time. Really good information, no spam. Check it out. So that's it for me today. Again, my name is Roger Gallegos. Beacon Marketing. Beacon Marketing's Weekly 5. This video ties up, it completes my series on you're focusing on the needs of your customer, making your customer the star of your marketing. So stay tuned next week. I'll be talking about a new topic. I haven't really outlined exactly what that's going to be, but it's going to be something good. So stay tuned. I promise. Talk to you later.